I'm monitoring all these messages from the Biden campaign and from the surrogates for the Biden campaign. I started scratching my head a little bit when I saw all these claims that Biden is a moderate president, a centrist. I guess you could say, in terms of the things that he has actually accomplished, yes, there are some bipartisan and some things you could call centrist there. Infrastructure spending, for example, that got bipartisan support. The CHIPS Act to support the semiconductor industry got bipartisan support. But also worth noting that Biden has tried to do a lot of things that the progressive or the more liberal part of the Democratic Party really pressed him to do, and he simply has not been able to do it. He tried, he just couldn't get it done. He tried to wash out a lot of student debt, and last month the Supreme Court said, no, you can't do that. So he has a much less ambitious plan now to get rid of some student debt. During the first 2 years of his presidency, he pushed a really big package of spending, tax increases on the wealthy and on businesses, along with a lot of new social spending, and he just couldn't get the votes for it. So he has been a pretty liberal president in terms of the things he has tried to do, but he doesn't want voters to really remember some of that stuff because his team thinks that the way he wins in 2024 is he has to appeal to moderate swing voters who may not be affiliated with either party. So that is the rhetoric you're going to be hearing from Biden and all his supporters for the next 15 months.
Well, Rick, shifting gears a little bit, the Wall Street Journal reporting that senators are introducing bipartisan legislation that would bar members of the executive branch and also lawmakers from owning individual names, individual companies and stock. Please give us the details.
This feels like a golden oldie.
Yes.
There have been many proposals to ban stock ownership by members of Congress. I guess it's a bit of a new thing that they're now extending this to the executive branch. There have been some exposés showing it's not just members of Congress who may profit on inside information when they know something is about to happen and then either snap up a company's shares or sell the company's shares ahead of bad news. Apparently, this happens to some extent among regulators in the executive branch, too. And they know a lot about punishments, for example, or different types of regulations that might be coming out that might affect different companies differently. The argument against this has been that, people in the government should be allowed to invest like anybody else in the United States. They don't actually get paid a lot of money. But I think there's a valid counter argument, which is to say these proposals would simply ban the ownership of individual stocks. You could still buy mutual funds. You could still buy ETFs and things like that. So if you wanted to profit from insider trading as a government employee, you'd still be able to invest in sectors or themes if you knew something was going to happen and you want to profit from your inside knowledge. You just wouldn't be able to invest in individual companies. I would add, none of these has ever passed before. There have been some limited rules that have passed, but never a complete ban on stock ownership, and I don't think that's going to happen this time.
Yeah, I don't see the public cry for that either just yet. So thank you for that report, Rick Newman.